Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Flight Podcast. My name is Jacob Shanker.
And I'm Andrew Thomas.
Shut up and sit down.
The NBA restart is underway, and a lot has happened this week. Jacob, tell me who you think is the most surprising team.
For me, so far, I gotta go with the Spurs. They're 2-2, but I mean, I don't think nobody's really expected them to do as well as they did, especially without LaMarcus Aldridge. They're playing great defense. I think they definitely have a big chance now at making the playoffs. DeMar DeRozan's played well. Derek White's played well. DeJounte Murray, Rudy Gay. They've all been playing great basketball. The other two teams that I think that have been surprising and have also been doing really well are the Suns and the Pacers, as both of them are 3-0, and both of them have been playing great basketball. They have been I don't think both of their teams, I don't think I thought they would do as well, but they definitely are surprising me, and I think they are going to continue this success. So what team do you have?
I have two teams. I have the Spurs for the fact that they're 2-2 and they're the 10th seed. They passed the Pelicans. The Pelicans are also very surprising because of the fact they're doing terrible.
Yeah.
And also I have the Pacers, obviously, with T.J. Warren averaging 40 points. That's just ridiculous. I don't think anybody thought he'd average even more than 20.
Yeah.
And the Pacers are 3-0. That Pacers and Spurs.
Yeah, I mean, I think this has definitely been an interesting week of basketball so far. I mean,
The bubble was definitely worth the wait.
Yeah, I mean, what have your thoughts been so far in the first week?
Well, for the NBA, this is a massive W. Obviously, they got the league back up, and everybody's been watching the games, and it's just been tons of anticipation. So it's obviously going to be a lot of fun and stuff. So, yeah.
I mean, it's definitely been a lot of fun. I mean, yeah, like you said, I'm like, I've never been this excited now to just watch the NBA, because there's going to be like 5, sometimes even 6 games every single day, compared to where it's like nothing and you couldn't watch anything.
Yeah, it really sucked. It was torture not being able to watch the NBA for this long.
It's been months and months, but it's finally back, and I think it's great, and I think it's only going to go better, especially with the playoffs just around the corner.
Yeah.
So as you were talking about T.J. Warren, I want to bring this to you. Do you think that he has been the NBA bubble MVP so far in week 1?
I think so. I think that if he, T.J. Warren right now is all-star caliber if he keeps playing like this. He's right now the best player on the Pacers. They don't have Oladipo at full health. They have Miles Turner. He hasn't been doing phenomenal. And I'm pulling up the stats on T.J. Warren. As I said, he's averaging 40 points in the bubble. He's averaging around 3 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals. It's ridiculous. Not to mention the fact that he's 65% from the field, 60% from 3, 92 from the free throw line. It's with a plus-minus of 20. I just looked that up. 36 game score. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's been unbelievable. And I don't think there is one person that watches the NBA that would think that T.J. Warren would be averaging 40 points, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Like, that's absolutely nuts.
If you told me T.J. Warren was going to be the bubble MVP, I would have laughed in your face.
Right? And I think it's a big I think it's great. I think T.J. Warren deserves all the things that he's doing, all the success that's coming to him. He deserves it, especially from getting traded from the Suns for cash considerations. Like, I think that's just completely disrespectful. I think the
Yeah.
Suns completely missed out on such a great player. He even played great in Phoenix. I think it was a terrible trade when they traded him, and I think in
Yeah.
the long run it's going to hurt Phoenix. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think T.J. Warren is also bubble MVP. But with the Suns, Devin Booker is looking pretty good as well.
Devin Booker hasn't been surprising, but he's been phenomenal. He's been doing great.
Yeah, he hasn't been surprising, but he's been really good. I mean, that 35-point game against the Clippers, and that game winner, that was a really good game for him. But overall, throughout the bubble, 30 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, great shooting. His defense has been more or less the same, but
Yeah, you're not gonna expect good defense from Devin Booker.
yeah, but you don't need him to be a defensive player.
Yeah.
He's a scoring player. He's an offensive player.
Yeah.
And he's been doing that. He's been succeeding. And to me, I still think the Suns are in the race. But I think so far in this week, I think you can agree that we've started to see what teams are more likely to make the playoffs than we did before. Because I think we both thought how the Pelicans were going to make the 8th seed. But after this first week, if this is how they continue to play, I really don't think they're going to make it. They just have not been doing that well.
Yeah.
They played Zion played one game where he played a lot of minutes. I think it was the last game, and it was like 25 minutes. And he had a good game, but I mean, Brandon Ingram hasn't been playing as well. Drew Holiday's been fine. Lonzo Ball's been fine. They've been an okay team, but not a playoff team.
And as this podcast is being broadcasted, the Pelicans are losing by 14 points to the Kings. So they're probably going to lose this game. And also, I think that the Grizzlies, without Jaren Jackson Jr., I don't think they'll make the playoffs either. So, in my opinion, the Spurs and the Trailblazers will probably get the 8th and 9th seed. If not, I think that the play-in tournament will have the Grizzlies and Blazers. But I don't have high hopes for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, it's very, very close. It's closer than people think, but it's very, very close in the West. Not close at all in the East, however, as the Wizards are, I'm pretty sure, off the top of my head, 6 games behind the Magic. I mean, yeah, Bradley Beal's not there, but do you think that the Wizards would even be able to make that, the playoffs with Bradley Beal?
With Bradley Beal, it's really funny because the Wizards are the 10th seed. They're behind the Hornets, and the Hornets aren't even in the bubble. With Bradley Beal, I believe that they would have won some games. And I think that the Magic are going to come out on top over the Nets. And I believe that if the Wizards had Bradley Beal, he'd probably be able to win that play-in tournament and make the 8th seed. But I see the Wizards getting swept even with Bradley Beal because of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah. I mean, me personally, I love Bradley Beal. I think he's the second best shooting guard in the game right now. But I really, even if though he's been doing amazing, I really just don't think that he would have enough to get the Wizards even into the playoffs or even into the play-in tournament. I mean, they're like I said, 6 games behind, 8 games behind. They need to they would just have to get lucky. They would have had to get lucky that the Magic wouldn't win any games, and they would just be winning every single game.
But don't forget about the play-in tournament.
That's true. But I mean, I really just don't think that the Wizards would have been able to really even make the play-in tournament. And even now, I definitely don't think that they're going to make it at all. They really got to start getting better defensive options for their team. That's really the main thing they need because they're one of the worst, if not the worst, defensive team in the league.
Yeah, and it's really sad looking back at it because the Wizards were one of the best rising franchises, and now that John Wall's injured and Bradley Beal is their only star, the Wizards went from a conference finals contender in 2017 to not even a playoff team.
Yeah. I mean, I really think what the Wizards should do if they really want to get the ball rolling here and to really become a playoff team, they got to trade John Wall. I really think they should. Although I think he's an amazing player, and I'm not doubting that. The only thing is that he has a huge contract, $40 million a year, and he's been getting injured so much.
Yeah, he is an injury risk, but that's what you're going to get with a lot of extreme athletes.
That yeah, you're right. But I think that if they traded John Wall, they would be able to get some great defensive options, as there's a lot out there, because they need some big men on their team. They really need those players to have on their team.
Yeah. Well, yeah, let's move on. Who do you think is the most disappointing team in the Eastern and Western Conferences?
Disappointing team?
Most disappointing.
I don't know, because for me there's been a lot of teams that just have not been playing up to the standards.
Yeah.
One, obviously, my Lakers. I don't want to admit that, but the Lakers have they really have not been able to find this groove. And I know, Andrew, I've been telling you this, but I mean, I've been watching, I think, almost every single game. And what I've noticed, and what like the major things they need to work on, is they need to shoot the ball more efficiently.
Yeah.
They need to play on-ball defense much better, and they need to move the ball around better. They really have not been playing like a team. They've been playing more individually, and that's not good. And
Yep.
the one
And
thing,
also
sorry,
you go.
oh no, I was just gonna say that LeBron has got to drive. Almost every single time I've seen him drive, the basket goes in, and he needs to do it more because he's shooting those threes, which he can make, but you don't want to rely on that, and he doesn't
Yeah.
do it necessarily all the time. Or he just passes the ball, which in
Yeah,
certain times is good, but I really don't think the Lakers are ready for him to just go back to how he played before the restart.
Yeah, and with the news coming out almost an hour ago that LeBron is out with a sore groin, it's not great for the Lakers.
But I'm not just going to be biased and say
Yeah,
that
yeah.
the Lakers are going to win it, but I still think the Lakers are going to win it, pending no injuries, nothing that what's going on with LeBron or anything is not serious. But I still think that the Lakers are going to win it. I think they really just need to get into their groove, because once they do, then they're the best team in the league.
Well, yeah, they're one of the best teams in the league. But for me, disappointing. The Lakers are disappointing. I find the Bucks more disappointing. I just think that they played Giannis 15 minutes against the Nets, and I know that they're resting them, but it's just really disappointing to know that they're just coasting the resting policy, and
well,
it's disappointing to see them. Also, Chris Middleton has not been performing well.
Yeah. I mean, I know I've talked about this with you a lot, but it's for me with the Bucks, with their loss against the Nets. Sorry. Um, um, they I think it really shows that something's going on with them as well. I mean, yeah, I know Giannis and Chris Middleton, they didn't play as much. They only played, I think, about 15 minutes each.
15 minutes, yeah.
But at least the whole team played. The Nets played without Kyrie, Kevin Durant, Spencer Dinwiddie, DeAndre Jordan, Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, Joe Harris, Wilson Chandler, all of their main guys and their main bench players didn't play. They had to play. They had to start their 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th players.
Yep, they had Lance Thomas at center.
Exactly. Like, have you ever seen Lance Thomas start a game? Probably not. This has probably been the first game he started in. But
I've never seen Lance Thomas play, actually.
I don't think I have either. But I mean, the fact that they beat that Bucks team, who some people think they're going to win the finals, I think that, yeah, like you said, the Bucks just need to pull their stuff together.
Yeah, I think that they'll do that in the playoffs. I think that they will make the finals. If not, it's going to be the Raptors. But it's very unlikely that the Raptors will make the finals.
Yeah.
So
One thing that the one game that is going on tonight, which as this episode airs, the game will have already ended, but the Houston Rockets are playing the Los Angeles Lakers. And me as a fan of the Lakers, Andrew being a fan of the Rockets, this is definitely
it's gonna be really heated tonight. Lots of debates going on.
so
Rockets are gonna win. Lakers are gonna win.
biased aside,
Bias aside.
who do you think will win?
Well, I'm looking at an article. LeBron James is confirmed out, and Russell Westbrook, on this website, it says there's an 85% chance that he's sitting out, 15% chance that he plays. He had a bruised quad. So if Russell Westbrook does play, I pick the Rockets to win. It's really hard for me to who's going to win. This is biased aside, though. I have no idea who would win if Russell Westbrook does not play, because it really just depends on Houston and how they shoot the three ball. Like, you live by the die or you die by the three.
Yep.
So it's going to be a great game no matter what happens, but it's tough for me to pick a winner.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. I mean, the Rockets, I think they've been playing better than how they've played in the regular season. Their offense has been more or less the same, but I think their defense has been better. But with that against the Lakers, yeah, LeBron not playing is gonna hurt them a lot. I think for me, the real factor is if Russell Westbrook's playing. He's the second best player in the Rockets, a big help for them offensively, defensively, all around. And I think, yeah, he's going to be the major factor in who's going to win tonight. But even if, here's the thing, Lakers have nobody to guard James Harden. But at the same time, Rockets don't have anybody to guard Anthony Davis.
Yeah, it's going to be really, like, mostly offense, because, well, Robert Covington is probably going to be guarding Anthony Davis. Robert Covington is a good defender, but he's 6'7" or 6'8" or 6'9". I forget his height. 6'7" or 6'9". Anthony Davis is still 6'10", and Anthony Davis is still Anthony Davis. But James Harden is still James Harden. Like, who's going to guard James Harden on the Lakers? And Caruso has neck spasms. No. Yeah. Poor Caruso.
We'll see who plays tonight, and that's really going to determine who's most likely going to win.
Yep.
That's all for today. Unfortunately, there will be no new episodes coming next week.
Feel free to comment down below what your thoughts have been on the NBA restart and who you think will win the Lakers-Rockets matchup.
Thanks for listening, and tune in on August 17th for the next episode. See you guys next time.